We're back at it, baby.
Let's go.
All right, the topic is UFC 303. I'm here with my boy Chris Kills.
What's going
on
Marty?
Instagram. Living the dream, brother. Living the dream.
Yeah, aren't we all?
You know. Before we get started, I don't have an intro for my podcast anymore, so if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is where this is, being hosted. It's the Marty Yang Show. Cool. So yes, UFC 303. The main topic is Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler being canceled due to injury for Conor McGregor.
I think he sprained like a cocaine rock on his leg or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. But just boo. Fucking
I don't know
boo.
what happened either. Yeah, I don't know what happened either.
When's the last time he fought? It's been 3 fucking years, right? 2021, Poirier, leg,
Okay.
kick, all that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I think we've all had it up to here. And at this point, if you really want to just save yourself and save your heartache, I think it's time to just
Jump off.
Forget about Conor.
Jump off the Conor McGregor train.
That's it. It's over.
Jump off. It's over.
I'm sorry if you missed it.
You made your money, Conor. Congratulations to
Yeah.
you. And if you're a fan, yes, we're sorry that you missed it. It was an epic it was a phenomenon. Conor McGregor was a phenomenon when it came to coming up as a rising star in the UFC.
I mean, he talked the shit and he backed it up.
Yes.
We can't forget
Yes.
the reign of Conor. But, we can't also forget that Dana White, let's just be honest, really piggybacked his career as well. I mean, I think Khabib made the point, the beginning of the year, this guy tapped like chicken. Now he gets title shot. But, Dana White's in the money business. Like, he knows, okay, this guy's a big sell. I got to give him these fights. But regardless, look, he had his reign. He had an amazing fucking career. I don't think it's over. I know at some point he's going to come back, but just don't look for it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. If it happens, and even if it's like signed and you see the flyer for it, still don't be happy. Don't be excited for it because it ain't going to happen probably.
Yeah.
There's that.
Well, it's interesting because I thought that he was going to make it to this fight. I thought so. And then the doubt started to creep in once, it was postponed and then you kind of see Conor not really being too active on social media, and I've heard some feedback that from Kamaru Usman saying that he's not really supposed to be active. He's training for a fucking fight. I'm like, that's true too. And then I seen Conor partying at his restaurant. Yeah. The Black Forager or whatever it's called. So I was like, what is this going on here? I don't know. But anyways, that event is canceled, and the replacement fight for UFC 303 is Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. Yeah. The main event, which I'm also excited for too, and a lot of people who are MMA fans, like real MMA fans, whatever that means.
Right.
Believe that this fight is a better fight than Conor versus Chandler.
A lot of people do.
Have you been hearing that?
I have been. I've been watching the comments. I've been seeing the comments, and people are like, I guess non-casuals would say like, this is a better fight. Me personally, and I'm just gonna put this out there, as controversial as this sounds, I didn't know that the last fight between Alex and Yuri merited a rematch. Maybe that's just me. I mean, I have to watch it again. I failed to watch it today. I was gonna watch it, but shit happened. But anyway. From what I remember, I mean, it was a good fight, but, Yuri got fucked up at the end there. I didn't know that would merit a rematch. I'm just saying, wouldn't there be other people in that division that he could have fought?
Sure. I think because it was on short notice that they were the two that Dana had and the team had called to, make that fight because they knew that they could possibly make the weight and take the fight. So I don't think it was necessarily ideal for what they wanted, but it's kind of, they do a really good job finding replacement fights for when fights fall out.
That they do. And I think I read a comment somewhere saying like, dude, Alex is like pretty much the new face of the UFC at this point. The guy has saved so many cards and has done so much in such a short time.
Absolutely.
And honestly, dude, Chama, I got nothing but respect for Chama, dude.
I love watching him fight. He's really exciting to fight because he's so. He'd be terrifying to fight. Imagine it's that one meme, if you're in a bar and this dude, like you and your girl, walk past him and he slaps your girl's ass. You ever seen that? Like, what would you do? You ever seen that meme?
Because you got to do
what
something.
Would you do? Yeah, what would you do?
I'd be like,
I don't know. I don't know. What would you do? Yeah.
If it was, I mean, okay, if it was Alex Pereira, first of all, I'd be like, dude, you can fuck my girlfriend tonight. I'm gonna go take an Uber. All right, honey, I'll talk to you later.
Oh my god.
Hey, where's
dude.
the Reddit basement dwellers calling me a fucking cuck? Let's go. I don't give a fuck. It's Pereira, bitch. I'll fuck you up too. Damn, dude. But yeah.
It's one of those things, right? Like like seriously, like taking the joke out of it.
Okay.
If he really did like smack your girl on the ass, what would you do?
I mean, I have to fucking hit him. But I mean, if I didn't know it was Alex or it was just some guy that I didn't know was a fucking double division champion.
That's a good point.
You got to decipher the two. Like, again, I would probably fucking be like, baby, that's Alex Pereira. I'm going to get an autograph. Why don't you defend me? Bitch, it's Alex Pereira. I need an autograph.
That's a good point. If I didn't know it was Alex Pereira and he did that and he signed my girl on the ass, I would be really furious.
Yeah.
But the dude's 6'4", and anybody who looks like that,
yeah.
I'm fucking terrified of, especially if he's looking at me right in the eye. So I'd probably tell him.
Yeah, honestly, man.
I'd probably tell him. I'm like, dude, this guy just fucking slapped my girl's ass. Can you
escort this gentleman?
Can you like kick him out or something? That's probably what I would do, honestly, because I would take one look at this guy, and be like, this guy is going to fuck my shit up if I fight him.
The only chance you would.
But maybe I would if I was really mad and maybe in the right mood. Sometimes you have to get your ass kicked.
No, absolutely. And I've had my ass kicked so many times. But honestly, the way that I would probably see it, the only way I'd have a chance is I'd probably have to like sucker punch him like as hard as I can.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I'd have to maybe come at him like, hey, I feel bad that you, then just fucking.
Exactly.
But even then, that's just. I'll get my ass kicked, but it's okay. At least I went out. I didn't compromise my dignity, man.
Yeah, could you knock him out? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Pull out the Izzy card. I don't know.
Yeah.
But damn, that's crazy that Pereira did get knocked the fuck out.
By Izzy.
We forgot about it in a weird way, but just never forget this guy was actually lifeless on the fucking floor.
Pereira got knocked out by Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
In their second fight in the UFC. For Izzy to win the belt back at 185 pounds and do an epic celebration after by shooting bow and arrow 3 times into a lifeless Alex Pereira on the floor.
Taking his gimmick.
Savage.
Taking his gimmick from him.
Yeah, savage.
And then, that was iconic, brother. That was, whoosh. Dude,
broke it. Yeah,
just fucking. You know what? I'm glad people are. I don't know if I've seen the trend now recently. People are now appreciating Izzy because he was pretty cringe. Let's get it out the way. He's a pretty cringy guy. Who the fuck gets French tips? What the fuck?
Right.
What would Don Fry say? I think he's a fucking bitch. Like getting French tips and all his jewelry and just flaunting the whole. But once he like quote unquote hiatus, I think people are realizing. Wait a minute, this guy was one of the most active. Yes. One of the most active champions ever.
Yes.
And people are recognizing that now. Yeah. I can't wait for him to come back. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be him, Dreykus. That's probably what's going to happen.
That is a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what will happen. Okay, so
303.
UFC 303. Yeah. But what do you think about the main event of 303? Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. We talked about it a little bit. You didn't think it warranted another fight.
I didn't.
The first fight was good. It was good. But you said, Yuri got fucked up at the end by Alex.
Right. Well, Yuri's last fight at 300, right?
Rakic.
Right. He did all right. He was getting messed up the beginning of the fight. He was getting pieced up really bad. And then I don't know if it was a gas tank thing, but Yuri just started to shine, and then he ended up, winning. So I don't know what to expect. Yuri's such a fucking weird fighter.
Yeah.
His style, you know what I mean? It's when like you could tell he's a total nerd, total ninja, lore loving guy, and he's translated to this. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. I would put my money on Alex because he's already fucked him up.
Yeah.
And I put my money on Alex. I mean, that left hook or that left jab, it's over. He has that nuclear launch code punch, and
I would agree.
Yeah. But I'm happy that Alex saved the card. Fucking Conor.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that Alex saved the fucking card. So
Cool.
Alex. Yeah.
All right. I would agree. I would agree with that. So I'm actually more excited for this co-main event. This is Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. For those who don't know, Brian Ortega was probably the closest person in recent history to finishing Alexander Volkanovski, who was at the moment, I think maybe top 5 pound for pound. He was number one. Yeah. He caught him in a guillotine. He was on top of him like a mounted guillotine, and Volkanovski was literally choking to death. Yes. Literally choking to death, and that's when I became an Alexander Volkanovski fan, because he did not tap. He was choking to death, and he was not tapping.
Which is crazy, dude. That shows the fucking heart of Volk. But
champion.
Yeah, but
Brian Ortega.
Closest one to ever
really
finishing him at the time.
And then he's had some good fights after that. You know, he got fucked up by Max Holloway, but he had a pretty good fight against Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, he did.
He won that. He won that fight. And Yair Rodriguez and Max Holloway had a pretty close fight. They went toe-to-toe. So he still got his skills. I think he's still getting better. He's got good coaching. So let's see. What do you think about this fight, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez?
Okay, so I'm a huge Lopez fan. Because I've been watching him for a long time. And at first he was kind of funny to me because he had like that fucking raw hair. You know, like MySpace fucking emo raw hair. Tonight will be the night that I fall for you. He had that. I was laughing at the bar. Like, look at this guy's fucking, you know. I mean, I can't talk shit about hair, but look at my shit. I look like the fucking, I look like one of those Butch Dykes, dude. You know. Anyway, but yeah, so I was like, oh, he's funny. And then he ended up like beating the shit out of this guy, knocking him out. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. I thought his name was Lopes for a long time. I still call him Lopes. Fuck it. The homie Lopes. Yeah. Knocked him out. And I was like, this guy's pretty fucking good. And then out of nowhere, he just started dominating everybody that they put in front of him. Yeah. I think he's ranked number 14 or something, like 13, something like that. And I believe Ortega's like 3. I forget. The point is, this is a big step for Lopez. And I want to see it. I'm excited. I'm going to put my money on Lopez. I think he's like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm putting my money on him. He's a young...
up-and-comer.
Young up-and-comer star. Has that hunger.
Has a hunger.
Yeah, I could see this guy as a champion. I'm being for real. I'm calling it right now. I could see Lopez as a champion. Okay. He'll get through Brian. He'll get through Brian.
Okay. I'm going to take the opposite on that one. I think he is part of the elite of fighters in the 145-pound weight division. I think he's really smart, and that experience of being in there with Volkanovski, being in there with Max Holloway, being in there with Yair Rodriguez is what's the word to describe that? It's like unquantifiable, the amount of benefit it has to have had that experience. And he's super skilled. And I still think he's getting better. So I'm going to go with Brian Ortega on that one. What do you think is the end result of that, if you had to guess?
The end result, my guess would be...
Lopes by TKO?
Yes.
Lopes by TKO.
Lopez by TKO, second round. You know, he'll just piece him up bad and just knock him the fuck out.
Second round, okay.
Yeah, man.
It probably will be a five-round fight because it's a co-main event. I think they're doing that now, even though it's not a title fight.
I'm so happy about that.
I like it too.
I love it, dude. I love that it's 5 rounds. A lot of fights that were co-mains that I wished were 5 rounds. One that I always will never forget about is Khamzat versus Usman, which is a great segue. Khamzat.
Yes.
Violently ill. That's all we know. We don't know anything else. There was a picture of him in the hospital. I mean, the guy is known to get sick really easily, apparently.
Yes.
They say because he trains too hard. Or like when he had COVID, he didn't, during 2020, he didn't
take a rest. Yeah, he just kept training.
He started throwing up blood, and then so he doesn't really take care of himself like that.
I see. That makes sense. Yeah.
Him dropping out was a bummer, to be honest.
It was a bummer. I was looking very much forward to seeing that fight. Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat.
Yeah.
Chimaev.
Or like fucking Colby would say, "Come shot."
Yeah. Khamzat out due to illness. And what was the sort of tagline? Deadly
Violently ill.
Violently ill.
Words of
Khamzat,
Dana.
violently ill. That's really unfortunate because Khamzat is an amazing talent and he's an absolute savage, and I love watching him fight. That fight against Gilbert Burns, that was a really good fight. Classic fight, MMA fight. Who do you think would have won, Robert or Khamzat?
Probably Robert. Because Khamzat low-key doesn't have the gas tank that we think he has. Like we learned that in Usman when he fought Usman.
Yeah.
Usman third round looked beautiful against Khamzat.
He did.
He was really finding connections and getting there.
Yeah.
And you could tell Khamzat was tired. Because Khamzat, I mean, look, that's his style. He's a berserker. He's crazy. He's like what he did to Holland, right? Well, he just go in there and just go 110 and try to take
first
you
round
down. Yeah, he's fucking wild. Well, Gilbert Burns, when he fought Gilbert, same thing. He was just going in there like a fucking berserker, crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
But see, that comes with the age. This youthfulness is going to keep him to be able to fight like that. But after a while, you know, when you go to 5-round fights with champions who are fucking, you know, fucking cardio beasts, that's when you're really tested. So I could have seen Robert Whittaker using that to his advantage. And with his unorthodox striking, I think he would.
Totally.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah, I would have went for Whittaker for sure.
I would agree.
Khamzat's still amazing, but I would have went for Whittaker.
I agree. Okay. So, and then let's talk about, I love Robert Whittaker. He's an absolute beast. He shows it again in his most recent appearance against Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Great technique with his striking, and Costa has really good technique as well, but Robert Whittaker is a beast, and to see the look in his eyes when he's going after it is nuts. He is an animal. Okay, so next, Ian Machado Gary versus Michael Venom Page. That's coming up on UFC 303, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I saw it there. I wanted to make sure, but it's way down in the list. I don't know.
I think it might be the first fight of the main event.
That'd be crazy because that deserves to be way up there. So Michael Venom Page, for those who don't know, was in Bellator and slayed the entire division of Bellator. The reason why Michael Venom Page is such a good fucking sell is the way he fights is so exciting. He almost reminds me of Silva, you know, Anderson Silva. There's like swagger to his style. There's like, he'll drop his guard. He'll like wait for a jab. I think him and Kevin Holland, whoever made that match, was the best match they could have ever done. Because in a way, they're pretty similar in that style, in that respect. Kevin Holland's a self-titled karate guy, right? I believe Venom Page is a freestyle. It was perfect. It was a great fight, but I did not know Venom Page was gonna fuck him up like that. So I mean, the thing is, I'm happy that it's now than never. I've always wanted to see Venom Page in the UFC, but the contract kept him in Bellator. But now that contract is up, and I'm sure Dana White has had his eye on him for a long time. Now that he's in UFC, I'm like so excited now. We get to see him. I mean, it's a little later in his career. I believe he's like 35, 36.
I don't know.
He's older. He's older. So I really hope that in this time he could do something big. Now the person he's fighting is Ian Machado Gary, or whatever the fuck his name is. Fucking, you know, whatever the fuck. The fuck is a wag loving dude, whatever the fuck they call it. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I'm starting to kind of feel bad for the hate that he's getting, because like I get it. This sport, a lot of the demographic of the UFC are a lot of dudes, unpolitically correct. We'll call you out, call people beta, this and that, and it's just kind of.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, well, we did. I can't wait for the comments on this one. But dude, it's his personal life. You know what I mean? I don't think you should judge him on that. If he's a good fighter, he's a good fighter. And he is a good fighter.
He is.
He's a very good fighter.
And he's entertaining as well.
He's very entertaining. He's an Irish fuck, right? You know, he's entertaining. That's his personal life. But I get it if the opponent wants to use that against
for
him.
mental warfare.
Mental warfare, weaponize what you got. But it's like, dude, I mean, if you know what he's about, his wife literally wrote a book on how to get a young athlete. And you know,
it's called a WAG.
A WAG.
Wives and girlfriends of like athletes and artists, or something like that.
Right. She wrote
something
a
like
fucking
that.
book
about
and then her ex-husband is his nutritionist.
Is really?
Yeah, who lives with them.
Right. I heard about this.
Again, like, look, I'm as liberal as they come in regards to people's personal life, but damn, That's pretty gnarly, bro. That's like, fuck, dude.
I know.
But he's a great fighter. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
So you got Michael Venom Page on that one though?
Okay, regardless of all that shit, Michael Venom Page, absolutely 100%. But I'm biased because I'm a huge fan. I like MVP a lot.
Okay.
I do like MVP.
I haven't seen him fight enough, so I'm going with Ian Gary on this one because I have seen Ian fight when he fought D-Rod. I'm like, because I have, when we should talk about D-Rod too, but when I seen him fight D-Rod, I'm like, wow, this guy has really good striking and just was a full step in class above D-Rod. And D-Rod is pretty good, ranked top 15 or was ranked in the top 15.
D-Rod's great. Yeah, he's a great fighter too.
Yeah.
He did really good.
So I think Ian will pull that one off. But I have seen what I've seen of Michael Venom Page against Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland is great too.
Yeah, excellent.
Michael Venom Page, he has a lot of experience, and if he's not fighting a wrestler because Michael Venom Page is a striker, I think he's going to give anybody problems.
Yeah.
Anybody problems, So because Ian is a striker, I haven't really seen his grappling too much, but I know that he's been in Brazil doing his thing, so we'll see that. But I think the fight is going to be primarily standing on their feet, and in that case, absolutely. I still got Ian.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I want Michael Venom Page to win, but who do I think's gonna win? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably gonna say Ian by decision.
Yeah, I'd like to see the odds on that.
That's my prediction. Ian by decision.
Okay.
And then Lopes by knockout and Pereira by knockout. Boom. That's what I have so far.
Okay. Good. And then, so D-Rod, for people who don't know, Daniel Rodriguez is a fighter in the UFC, and he's pretty amazing. But it's interesting because we're in Alhambra, California.
Yes. And
D-Rod is from this area.
Yeah.
I knew him back when I was in high school. So D-Rod, if you're watching this, salute, bro. Props to you. Best of luck on your next fight against, I think it's Kelvin Gastelum, which is an animal. Kelvin is one of the people to have a really solid classic fight with Stylebender.
Oh, dude,
kicked him in the head. I was like, wow. And I like Kelvin Gastelum. I seen him at the UFC International Fight Week. Me and my friend Ping, we went and we're at this convention, UFC X or something like that.
Yeah.
And I seen him kind of face off, and he was just right there against taking pictures with fans.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, but I seen him. One of the fans asked him to square up and take a face off, and he's like, all right. And he kind of had to get into character real quick. He just was like, all right, hold up. And then he kind of did one of these and then, faced off with them.
That's
so
awesome. He's
cool, and he puts out social media content as well. And you get a feel of his character and his personality, which I like. Sugar Sean does that.
Yeah.
And a bunch of UFC fighters are doing that now because social media is where it's at, and you need to keep people's attention and keep their eyeballs because that eventually turns into dollars in some sense.
That's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Where people want more. Like, just watching them fight isn't enough for most people. They want to know, like,
their background.
Yeah.
Their like their personal lives, or at least see them on social media. It helps to build
business, like a connection, it's a good business move because you get more emotionally invested into your person because you know their family and their life and what they do and all that stuff. There's no more of that like back in the day mystery bullshit, like where like you just saw them when they fought. You didn't know what they were like behind, past the ring or anything like that, like the boxers of back then. But nowadays, like if Muhammad Ali like was a thing now, I mean, he'd have a YouTube channel, which is so weird to imagine. You know what I mean? He would have Instagram. He would have an X. But that's just the world we live in now. And in a way, it's cool. I just miss the mystery.
You miss it? Yeah.
I kind of do. I kind of like not knowing. Well, the thing is, okay, not to go off on a huge tangent, but the more you know is kind of, it's a double, it can go really good or bad. Like, for example, like some of my favorite musicians, you know more about them now, their personal life, and it's not necessarily a good thing because they're canceling people who are already dead now. Like, oh, did you know James Brown used to beat on his wife?
Oh, I see.
And I love James Brown. He's like one of my favorite fucking, performers. Or, oh, did you know fucking Jimmy Page had a girlfriend who was like 15? Or did you know this and that? So like you're learning more about these people. And granted, I'm not saying all of them are shit, but I'd rather just not know about this.
100%.
Yeah, because I was listening to Led Zeppelin on the way here.
Yeah.
Shit. But with the fighters though, there's none of that. I mean, I can't think of a fighter except Ian who has a weird personal life. But even that's not even that bad considering what I just compared.
Yeah. Well, John Jones is a great example.
Perfect.
John
Good.
Jones is a great example because a dive in, and he's not one of those people who is really intentionally putting his shit out there.
No.
He's just always getting fucking in trouble and texting wild shit. And, you know, he said that he was like, low key he thinks Amanda Nunes is hot or something.
I think that was a fake. I sent you this article on Instagram.
Oh, did you? Okay. Was that from you?
Yeah. I think it was fake. So one tweet said Amanda Nunes low key hot or something, and then another tweet was he tagged Daniel Cormier and he put fuck you, you know, N-word. Just not randomly, like fuck you, like just randomly, and then, you imagine, and then I think.
But I think he really did do that because
did he really though?
Yeah, because I think
God.
I seen an official tweet saying he apologized to everybody. He's been on a bender, an alcohol bender.
So he just in his alcohol bender, he just decides I'm gonna tag DC and just say fuck you.
Yeah, and Amanda Nunes is hot.
Low key hot. Hey, by the way, just for the record, I think she's hot too. I know
Amanda Nunes.
She's a smash for me, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You go down the list of the UFC. I don't know why. I think just her as a person. Like she's such a bad bitch. I love her to death. You know?
She's got a great personality. She's fucking cool as shit.
She's cool as shit. That would be someone low key I would get starstruck over. If I seen her, I swear to God, I would get starstruck. I think she's just such a phenomenal fighter. Anyway, digress. Yeah, Jones. Good example. So that's somebody whose personal life you kind of don't want to know about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he is.
Or do
great.
you?
Oh.
Or do you? I mean, I think that I think I want to know all this information about these fighters because, again, it gets you emotionally invested, whether good or bad. You know, for me, John Jones is bad, bro. It's like it's all bad. He's drinking and driving. He's getting into hit and runs. He's hitting his wife. I'm like, bro, this is terrible. But yet he's still the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and so you have to respect that in some sense.
Well,
you can respect him as a fighter, but as
Right.
a person, you're like, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be his friend.
I love Jimmy Page. Don't love what his personal life is about. You understand? Like they talk about separating the artist from the art from the artist. That's what they say, the art from the artist, and it's mixed martial arts, right? So I mean, if you're able to do that, then you know. The thing is, I think he resonates with a lot of people, especially like fans of the UFC, because you know, I mean, I imagine a lot of UFC fans have embarked on some kind of martial arts or drinking with the boys and have probably been in life of fuckery. I mean, basically, we're watching violence. We're literally just watching violence and blood and getting a kick out of it, drinking. There's that whole culture. There's going to be a huge portion of the demographic that can relate with John Jones in regards to demons, is what I'm trying to say. Because, I mean, I can tell you right now, like, I've been through a lot of dark shit myself, the drinking and driving and all that fuckery. And when you see someone who's went through the same things as you, but still comes up on top as like one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's inspiring in a way for those people. To see
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think you saw that video that went viral of Daniel Cormier talking to John Jones. So awkward. It was beautiful. It was beautifully awkward. And I love awkward shit. When he's like, he's talking to John Anik. He was, is DC there? And he goes, hey, John. And he goes, DC. And then they just both laugh because they know it's so weird. Because they're fucking enemies. and DC says, look, I like who you're becoming. You're developing into somebody, and a lot of people look up to you and just stay on that, But I think that was Daniel being nice, saying, like, I still fucking hate you, but people look up to you,
Yeah.
I would love to see them be friends one day.
That would be nice.
It would be nice. Him or Habib Connor. Can you imagine? I think they just got to put him in a room and give him mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
Just give him ayahuasca.
Yeah. Give him a heart-opening drug to mend the trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. All right, so we're about at 30 minutes. Camera's about to shut off right now.
Damn.
Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
UFC 303, people. Hope you enjoyed this content. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
Peace.
Marty Yang, let's go. No one deserves it more than this guy. Let's go.